Hello everybody in YouTube land, and welcome to Mike's Retro Tech. This is another video on the Tatung Einstein, but it's a very special video because this is video number 26 from my currently 6-month stint of uploading one video every week. So I can't believe I'm now up to 26. That's a lot of content for you guys to savour. With this being the 26th video, so halfway through my 12-month stint, the video I'm going to present to you today is very special. Special to me because it's my Einstein. Special again to me because for once in my life I've actually, as you will see, fixed something properly, and also because it's halfway through, as I said before, the 26th video I've uploaded. So without further ado, let me show you the results of what I've done over the last week. And it's only taken a week because I've had all the parts to wait for. And then you'll see it boot up, you'll see it work, you'll see it type, and then we'll go into the video so you can see how I actually fixed this and what means I used to get it working from a completely dead machine. This is the end result, which you will see in the video. Enjoy the refurb video of how I fixed the very poorly Tatung Einstein. I have received in the post a few items. Number one is a very cheap but hopefully functional heated solder sucker. Now, as you can see, it's got a European plug, but here I have an adapter, I hope. So that goes in there like that. And I should now be able to plug that into the UK power supply. I also bought, and I've received today, some, can you see that? Some, what they call dip sockets, some chip sockets. So 28 pin, yeah, that's right, 40 pin. So 28 pins, 40 pins, and 16 pins. Lots of those to go with my 2 replacement chips that I've got at the moment. I don't know if you can see those. The phone is probably going to start. Yeah, focusing. No, maybe not. Right, so those 2 chips there, and they're going to replace, I hope. Let's disconnect the Einstein motherboard and show you. These are going to replace those 2 chips there. Now, they, I believe, are multiplexers. And if I just move, if I can, a bit there like so, can we zoom in? I don't know how good this is going to be if we zoom in, but those 2 there. Now, I've seen on a website called the Nightfall Crew that they have actually repaired their Einstein because those 2 were faulty. Now, if they are faulty, this is great because that's what those 2 are there. Exact replacements. In fact, yes, they are the correct chips. So I'm going to put sockets there and there, those 2 chips in the sockets, and then we'll try and see whether it actually fixes anything. I don't know how good this is going to be, but it has some very strange earthing connector with a crocodile clip. Let's clamp that on there, and then let's see if I can plug that in there. Now, the instructions, where are we? Yes. Not much chance of me reading that. It's, yeah, not too good. But we will persevere, and we'll see whether or not I can actually get anything desoldered. Okay, so it's nice and hot. I mean, it's really hot. It's smoking. Can you see it smoke? Oh yeah, there you go. Look, smoking. But that hole is too big. Now, luckily, in the packet was one of those, which is a tiny hole, which hopefully will fit over there properly and do a better job. So I'm going to let it cool down. I'm going to put the new top on, and then we'll see what happens. Alright, so it's heated up now. Oh, the phone's a bit wobbly. So if I zoom in, let's see whether or not we can actually get into that. Don't think you can see it, but one of the solder pins, the solder points, has actually been desoldered. It's working quite well. So I'll film a bit of this, maybe speed it up, and then I'll just leave myself to get on with it and then not show you because it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit difficult to do. Right, let's just try this though again now. So I don't suppose it matters if I break this chip, but I don't want to damage the board. Oh! And there we go. Let's take you off this clamp and I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so I marked a black dot where the notch was on the chip, and there is the chip that's come out, and it's come out of there very, very cleanly. There's just a tiny bit of solder in a couple of those holes which I'll need to clean up. So that chip looks okay, but I would much rather put a brand new one in. So SN74 LS157N, and I've got SN74LS157N. So hopefully this is going to work. Now you've seen that first socket come off. Oh, I'll show you the other side of the motherboard as well. 1 second. Okay. And that's the result of the other side of the motherboard. Now, not the cleanest in the world, but the wires are not damaged, and I should be able to get some good solder on those in the next 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to do that socket now, this one here, off camera, and then I'll be back when I do the soldering of the sockets so you can see how I'm getting on with that. Right, I'm back. So all I can say is that was a lot easier without recording it, because I could just whiz through that. But nice and clean on the top, both of them. Swap the board round. Nice and clean on the bottom. Now I'm going to try and put those sockets in the holes and solder them to see what happens. Okay, so to prepare for the sockets to be soldered, I've actually stuck them down with a tiny piece of sticky tape, and then what I will do is I will put this blob of blue tack on there like so, and then when I flip the board over, that should give me enough purchase with the soldering iron to press down there and have all the pins. Yep, I can feel those coming out there. Right, brilliant. So I'm going to get my soldering iron out now. When that's cooled down, I'll get my soldering iron on to 300 degrees, and then we'll see if we can melt a bit of solder and some flux, and I'll see if I can make a mess of this. So while I'm waiting for the soldering iron to heat up to 320 degrees, which it's just done now, that's how much solder came off the pins. I think there's a bit more than that actually. It went on the motherboard, which I managed to scrape off. So now I've put some flux on, I've got my solder. I'm going to try and solder this top one in. There's the first one soldered. My soldering's not the best, but it's not bad and no tracks are touching. So I think I'm pretty cool with that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try and position you somewhere, I don't know, shall we see? Somewhere there maybe. Oh, see my tripod. No, you see my tripod is about to die. Will that hold there? Can you see that? That's the bit I'm going to solder. Right, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's get ready to rumble. Right, I'm going to check that with my magnifying glass now. Oh, you see, look at that. It's come off there, but I've got now two nice sockets. Oriented the right way. Yep. And that looks pretty good. Right, it looks like I've actually missed. So I need to do, I think, a bit more on that one. And then a bit more on that one, like that. Ooh, that's too big. There's too much there, I think. Damn. That one is merged. There we go. When your friend, the trusty old wooden stick, comes to hand. Right. Soldering iron off. I don't want to do much more with that, but what I will do is I will put some tape over it, just so that if there are any shorts, it won't be from this side of the board, just for the time being, just like that. Right, now for the moment of truth. These two chips go in, I think. Yes, I might have to bend the pins a bit. Yeah, pins bent. Maybe too much now. Oh no. Oh yeah. Ah. Ooh. Ow. Oh no. Look. Disaster. And that's because it's stuck in the end of my finger. Right. Phew. That was lucky. I've managed to bend the pins back into some normal state, some point on my tea, but I did manage to stick it in the end of my finger. So be very careful when you're putting these in. Apply proper downward pressure. See, that one's bent again. So I'm thinking maybe these holes are not very good in these sockets. I don't want to press too hard on them because they are very fragile and they will break. So I wonder if I just tease them apart maybe. So all I've done there is poke the end of that down the hole. So make sure they're orientated correctly. Did that push in properly? It seemed to. Brilliant. So, and then try this one. Oh, okay, so we switch. Just make it a bit easier, a bit more together. And just trim that. Right, so make it better. I'll just check my pins. Pins. Nope, they won't. In fact, they won't let me Right. And then bring you guys over here, because now I'm going to be really brave and I'm going to plug in the main board and see whether I blow anything up. And if the lights go off, then you know that something's not worked. But I'm hoping it won't, because all I've done is changed two ICs. Now I can't remember whether this was on C or B. So we'll try it on B, and we'll try it on C first, and we'll see what happens. So if how's that now? Oh, that's quite good. So the de-solderer has cooled down enough for me to handle. So that's quite cool. So I can dangle that on one side of the desk. Yep, that's good. Move my light. So, oh no, we'll leave the light on. Maybe. It might be a bit tricky to see the screen. And then, yeah, you see, that's a bit bad, isn't it? So if I turn that off, let's see what happens We got video? No. Huh. Okay, so replacing those didn't make a difference, which then to me means it could well be these memory chips. So what I need to do now is take a photograph of these memory chips and buy some from eBay. It's about 3 or 4 days since I did the multiplexers. The memory is turned up, which is there, along with a shed load of sockets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, of which I've used 2 sockets for there. So I ordered 20 for some reason, I don't know why. And somebody suggested that before I replace those physical 64K DRAM, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 8K, I check these. Now these are the 4416s, I want to say. Yeah, 4416-15 NLs. They are, I think the Einstein has 8K of video memory, so they will be 4K DRAMs. So those chips were soldered onto the board. Now, when I desoldered them with my desoldering tool and popped them off, there were corroded wires. So as I popped the chips off, if I can show you with my screwdriver, as I popped the chips off, the copper wire stuck to the pin. That one there, and then one of those on that side. But luckily, I think they are through-hole wires, and there was nothing connected to the faulty wires. See, some of these go to tracks on the main board, yeah. The ones that were faulty didn't, they just went to the underside of the board. So I think I might have got away with it. But these 2 chips, even in these sockets, give the same results, which is that corrupted screen. And also, the video chip here gets extremely hot. So I don't know whether it's that's faulty as well, in which case that might be a fair few pennies to fix. But I have got 2 chips of DRAM coming from eBay. Hopefully they'll be here tomorrow, which is Thursday, but it does say on the eBay listing it may be the 24th to the 26th of April. Now that is another 10 days.
1 eternity later.
As you can see, brand new video RAM 4416 chips have turned up today. The old ones are up there, along with the old multiplexers. Okay, so all I did was replaced those 2 memory chips. Turn the light off there, and what do you reckon to this? Fixed for the princely sum of £3.79 GBP. The last thing I'm going to do is put in the diagnostic chip, because so far I haven't seen this boot with the diagnostic chip in place. Right, let's move you up here and then onto there, and then let's power him on and see what we get. Checking the DRAM, checking low DRAM, System Diagnostics Tool 2019 by Fabrizio Di Vittorio. Checking PSG. Oh, and it won't work because there's no speaker plugged in. So it says the keyboard failed. Well, of course it did, because I couldn't press 1. So try IO30. So what's IO30 is that? So could it be that the sound generator is faulty? Let's show you what that says. Let me turn this light off so that you can actually see what's going on. There we go. So you can see that. So it says the sound failed. But the sound, I think, failed because, oh, where are we? As you can see here, the speaker's not connected. So what I will do, I think, is plug the motherboard back into the case, put the keyboard on, and we'll see what keys are faulty. Right, so keyboard plugged in, LED power lights plugged in, speaker plugged in. Shall we see what we get now? Let me see if I can get you in a better position. Okay, that's better. So let's try restarting again now. And let's see what we get. Well, there's no floppy drive installed, so I will now put in the floppy drive unit and we'll try again, because I have got my GoTech that I need to install, but that will be done at a later date. 3-inch floppy drive installed, power, data, nothing else. Turn this chap on. Okay, the drive is working, but it does say it fails. Now, there's no disking. I don't actually have a floppy disk. For the moment then, I think we'll leave it at this. We can see the machine is working. The floppy drive looks like it's working but sounds horrendous. Now, I think it will probably fail when I put a disk in, but I haven't got a disk yet, and I'm going to have to try and find a cheap blank one or a cheap Crystal DOS boot disc on eBay, but at the moment they're extortionately priced. For the moment then, we will leave this video here. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel. Please give the video a big thumbs up. Click the bell icon so you get notification when I upload more content. Thanks for watching again, and goodbye.